Ready to dive into the world of ChatGPT.
Let's do it.
This isn't just some passing tech fad.
Right.
We're talking about AI that can write poems, code, have a conversation,
Yeah.
like eerily close to a human.
Yeah, it can be a little unnerving, right?
Really is. And we're going through a ton of articles, research, all that,
Mm.
to bring you, the need to know on ChatGPT.
It really has been a game changer.
It has.
I mean, just think about it. In just a couple of months, it went from like a tech demo to a household name,
I know, right?
100 million users, faster than any app in history.
It's mind-boggling. I think Instagram took like 2 years
Yeah.
to hit that number.
They're crazy.
So we know it's popular, but what is it?
Right.
Our sources describe it as a generative AI chatbot, which, sounds pretty technical.
It is, but it's actually simpler than it sounds.
Okay.
Imagine if you fed a computer program every book ever written.
Okay.
Not just the content, but the way humans express themselves, the nuances of language.
Wow.
That's essentially what a large language model is doing, or LLM for short.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT is one of these LLMs that's been fine-tuned for conversation.
Okay, so it's like what? Training a parrot to mimic human speech?
Yeah.
But on a massive digital scale?
Exactly.
And this parrot was trained by a company called OpenAI.
That's right.
They're the ones behind ChatGPT.
Yeah, OpenAI built ChatGPT on their generative pre-trained transformer models,
Okay.
or GPT for short.
GPT, got it.
And these models are constantly evolving, getting more sophisticated.
Mhm.
We've seen GPT-3, GPT 3.5, and now GPT-4, each one building on the last.
So like leveling up in a video game?
Exactly.
Each version gets smarter, faster, more capable.
That's right.
No wonder it's causing such a stir. But it's not just about the tech.
Right.
It's about what you can actually do with it.
Exactly. What's so fascinating about ChatGPT is how versatile it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it compose music, write different kinds of creative content, poems, scripts, even code for software.
It's like having a team of creative experts at your fingertips, all powered by AI.
Yeah.
But we've also got sources talking about how it can generate business ideas, answer test questions, even debug code.
It's pretty amazing. And one of this that makes it feel so different from those like clunky chatbots of the past is that it actually remembers what you said earlier in the conversation.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just responding to each prompt in isolation, it's building a context.
Exactly.
Like a human would.
Yeah. And that brings us to another point.
Okay.
It's important to remember that for all its capabilities, ChatGPT isn't perfect.
Right.
In fact, it can sometimes make things up,
Brilliant.
present false information as if it were fact.
Wow.
Researchers call this hallucinating.
Hallucinating.
Yeah.
So it's like that friend who tells amazing stories, but sometimes, embellishes the details a bit much. You can never quite tell what's real and what's not.
Exactly. One of our sources even compares ChatGPT to a blurry JPEG of the web.
Okay.
It has access to this massive amount of information, but sometimes the details get lost or distorted in the process.
So while it can be incredibly convincing, you got to take it all with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
You can't just blindly accept everything it spits out.
Absolutely. This is where critical thinking comes in.
Yeah.
When you're using ChatGPT, it's crucial to evaluate the information it provides.
Okay.
Double-check it with other sources and not treat it as an infallible oracle.
So it's like with any powerful tool, you need to learn how to use it responsibly.
Exactly.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Jailbreaking the AI.
Oh, yeah.
We read about how users are finding ways to,
bypass the rules.
Yeah, bypass ChatGPT's safety rules to make it do things it's not supposed to.
It's been fascinating to watch unfold.
It has.
OpenAI has put a lot of effort into making ChatGPT safe and responsible.
Right.
Setting limits on what it can say and do. But users are constantly finding creative ways to push those boundaries.
Like creating the Dan persona, right?
Yes.
Do anything now.
Basically tricking ChatGPT into acting like a more rebellious, less inhibited version of itself.
It's a bit like giving the AI a mischievous streak.
It is.
And it raises some important questions about the ethics of AI, its potential for misuse, and the ongoing challenge of balancing innovation with safety.
Absolutely.
Especially when you consider the real-world impact this technology is already having.
Right.
From education to finance, from medicine to the arts, ChatGPT is making waves.
It really is.
Across numerous fields. Ready to dive into some specific examples?
Let's do it. Well, one of our sources, this article from The Atlantic, it talks about how students are using ChatGPT to write essays.
Oh, wow.
And it's causing quite a stir.
I can imagine. Yeah, plagiarism.
Yeah, exactly. Can you really call it your own work if an AI is doing the writing for you?
It's like having a ghostwriter on steroids.
And then how do you even detect that kind of plagiarism?
Right.
It's a real challenge for educators.
Yeah, it really makes you think about the future of learning.
It does.
Like, what does it even mean to learn if an AI can just spit out a perfect essay?
It's a really interesting question.
Yeah, really is.
And it's one that we're going to have to grapple with more and more as these AI tools become more sophisticated.
Absolutely. What about coding?
Oh, yeah.
We read that ChatGPT can write and debug code.
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz about that.
Are programmers going to be out of a job?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
One study we came across, it found that while ChatGPT can generate code quickly, it's still prone to errors.
So it's more like an assistant then.
Exactly. It can handle some of the more routine tasks, maybe offer suggestions, but it's not going to replace human programmers entirely.
Okay, so what about medicine? We read about some really interesting potential applications there.
Absolutely. One study even found that ChatGPT could answer patient questions about medical conditions, like with a surprising degree of accuracy.
Wow.
And it even showed some promise as a tool for medical education, helping students learn complex medical concepts faster.
It's like having a 24/7 medical consultant in your pocket.
It's pretty amazing. But of course, experts are urging caution.
Right.
They emphasize that AI should never replace a qualified healthcare professional,
Right. Of course not.
especially when it comes to making diagnoses or recommending treatments.
Makes sense. You wouldn't want to stake your health on an algorithm,
Exactly.
no matter how sophisticated it seems.
Right.
So, any other fields we should have on our radar? What about finance?
Oh, yeah. Finance is interesting.
Okay.
We found some sources that said some investors are already using ChatGPT to help them make investment decisions.
Really?
Yeah. They're using it to, like, analyze market data, identify trends, even pick stocks.
That sounds risky.
It can be.
Yeah.
And, some experts are concerned about the potential for bias
Oh, right.
in the data that ChatGPT was trained on.
Because it can only be as good as the information that it was trained on.
Exactly.
Right.
So, yeah, there are definitely some risks to consider.
It seems like every time we uncover a potential benefit of this technology, there's also a potential downside.
That's the thing about powerful technology. It's a double-edged sword.
It really is.
And it really underscores the importance of having these open and honest conversations about the impact of AI on society.
Totally. We can't just focus on the shiny new features.
Right.
We have to think critically about the potential consequences as well.
We have to be thoughtful about how we use it,
Mhm.
how we develop it, and how we integrate it into our lives.
And that, I think, is a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
We've taken you on a deep dive into the world of ChatGPT,
That's right.
explored its capabilities, its limitations, its potential impact on pretty much everything, from education to healthcare to the world of finance.
It's touching everything.
It is. But the real journey begins now.
It does.
How will you choose to interact with this technology? Will you use it responsibly? Will you engage in these important conversations about its role in our lives? The future of AI is still being written, and we all have a part to play in shaping it.
I think that's a great takeaway message.
Absolutely.